In this video, we'll talk about the concept of returns to scale, which is very much applicable in production economics. The word scale stands for a situation where labor and capital and all of the factors of production can change, because it is about the scale. It's not limited to the change in one variable, rather it allows us to change all of the inputs. And returns is there because when we expand the production scale, for instance, what would happen to the returns? Will they increase or not? And if they increase, how much they will increase? This is the question that we have in our minds. Now we talk about the output changes that happen due to the changes in the scale. Then in our diagram that we have assumed, we have considered 7 different levels. That is, there are 7 isoquants. And in these isoquants there is a certain pattern. Let us see this pattern first. Definitely the two inputs are plotted on x-axis and y-axis, and we have various isoquants. The pattern in these isoquants is that the distance between the consecutive isoquants is decreasing as we go ahead after this point, that is A2. It decreases and it reaches this point where it is again in a decreased form, and afterwards it again increases. As you can see, the distance from A4 and A5 is greater than that of A3 and A4, and then A5, A6, and then A6, A7. In this way it will increase. So there are 3 distinct features of this diagram. This one is there in which it is decreasing, in this it is the same, and in this it is again increasing. So these signify 3 different stages. The first one, in which A2 over A1 is less than 2, it is here happening that A2 is, when divided with A1, it is less than 2. Then this inequality will hold, and this implies that without doubling the inputs we can double the output. This is less than 2. It means that less than twice of the inputs can be used to double the output. So we have highlighted this thing, that is less than the double, and in this situation it is a favorable situation because we can increase the output and make it double of what it was simply by using less than the double of the output. So it is increasing returns to scale. We are able to produce more by using less of the input. Now the other possibility after this stage, that is A2 till A2 and A1, as you can see, A2 is lesser than A1 and the ratio is less than 2. Now if the ratio of A2 and A1 is equal to 2, it means that we are exactly able to double the output by doubling the inputs, because it is equal to 2. So the inputs can be increased by making them double, and the output will also be doubled. This is why the answer is 2 of this ratio, and this is constant returns to scale because it is neither greater nor less. Then this is greater than 2. It means that more than doubling the outputs will double the output. The inputs, if we make them more than the double, then we can be able to double the output. And this is decreasing returns to scale because we have to increase the outputs by more than double in order to make the output double. This is definitely an undesired situation. It is therefore called as decreasing returns to scale, that when we increase the scale, the returns are not accordingly, they are slightly less or substantially less than the increase in the inputs. So DRS is here, IRS and CRS and DRS. These are the 3 possibilities that exist, and in this diagram you can see here we have increasing returns to scale, and then we have constant returns to scale, and then we enter into the decreasing returns to scale situation. As you can see, the output is increased by the difference of 1, and we are taking the ratio of the consecutive points, that is A2, A1 and so on, and we are observing the value that we get on x-axis and on y-axis, so that we be able to know the increase in the input on x-axis and increase on the y-axis, so that we could take the ratio and see the effect on the output. This was the ray from origin, and it is helping us to get these points. The distance from each other, for them we are calculating. So this is how we can plot the diagram for returns to scale, in which variable returns to scale, that is IRS and DRS, both of them are there, and then constant returns to scale, that is CRS, is there. We will also do this by using some elasticity formula in upcoming lectures. Thank you.